I'll show you how to change a rear tire. Never done it on the Beamer, but how hard could it be? Good. And then what you want to do is get you like your 12 mil or 13 mil. Stick the shaft in one of the sprocket holes here. And you want to just kind of pull it back till you're at like 2 o'clock. Welcome to Colorado Moto 101. Here, because I need to change this guy. I'm at my wear bars. I have some tread, but not enough to feel comfortable on Pikes Peak. So, we're here at the shop, my old shop. We're gonna go try to find a tire, because that's what we used to do. Rip down bikes. We used to get tires. See, there's some. And there's some. See what size we got. So, ooh, a 190. That's what I need. I mean, it's better than mine, but let's see what else we got. That looks like a 180. This one's 180. Got a lot of tires to choose from. Oh, here's a 190. Looks like it's for sale though. Oh, here's a slick. Definitely not using that. $180. That one's online, so we can't take that one. Let's see what this guy is. Ooh, 190. I mean, the sides are what we need. Middle's worn down, but we don't use the middle. Nice. Gonna have to tell the boss I took a tire. I only need it until Oscar gets us our tires we ordered. Just want to make sure there's no cuts. It is used. It's got plenty more meat left. Yeah, I'm not putting that. I'm not using that. I only need this for a day. It's kind of hard sitting on the shelf, but it's still a little soft and pliable. Just gotta heat it up. Alright, I'll show you how to change a rear tire. Never done it on the Beamer, but how hard could it be? Alright guys, I grabbed all the tools you need for your rear tire here. Since we're not using standard, we're using metric, and you need a 34 millimeter for the rear axle. And that's all you need. And your 13 and 10 are for your chain tensioners. I don't care how old your bike is, every axle should come off as easy as this new one has. And I'll show you how to prep your axles so they'll always come out smooth, because you should never use force. If you have to use force, then something's wrong and you gotta stop. Whew, those are brand new and tight and fresh. Alright, let's go. You're gonna have to excuse the shop. I didn't push out. I'm leaving it pushed in. Okay. Just give her a little wash before we work on it. You don't want to spray in your bearings, so watch out for that. Okay, we're going to move over here. Tire machine. Get this camera set up real quick. I don't know how this angle is. Hopefully it gets what I want to get. Get our valve stem puller. And pull the valve stem. And you gotta break your bead. It's really hard to do if you don't have this machine is a lifesaver. It's the Coates. I don't know what model. Let me see. RC tire spinning before you put your next tire on. That's always a bummer. If you forget which direction you put your tire on. So you can do this without this machine, but you just need 2 spoons instead of 1. And it's the same process without this clamp. So I want to push the bead down everywhere, and it just helps this side up with this arm or not. So always push your bead down. There we go, that annoying compressor. Alright, so to get the tire off, you're going to want to work the back edge, pick it up, slide your spoon down to grab the other end, and slide it up together while the back end is up as high as it can go. And then, so back to the pulling the rim off, or your tire off the rim. You want to make sure your tire is up as high as it can be all the way around, and then it'll come up nice and easy. But this tire is actually a stickier tire than your normal street tire, so it's really soft. Damn it. Alright, stay up there. If you want to get any moisture out of the tire, this is a used one. It's just going to help me for Monday or Tuesday when we go on the mountain. And then I should be getting my tires Tuesday from the Pirelli rep. We're going to go try his tires out and feel real safe. We'll see how this one does. The done flop. The Sport Max. Never heard of you. I like Pirelli and Bridgestone the best. They work amazing. You know, people say Bridgestone sucks, but guess what? Bridgestone has been the sport bike tire carrier for years, until like recently, a few years ago, Michelin took over. And you know what happened? They can't do all the laps as much as they used to do at the Bridgestones. They can't. Their tires won't keep up as much as the Bridgestones did, and they had to shorten the lap times for the riders, and that is pretty crazy to me. Bridgestone has worked so good. But Pirelli's work really good too, and Metzler. They're pretty much the same sister company. Metzler and Pirelli. Metzler makes Pirelli. And we're about to try some Metzlers out here from Oscar. Alright, so this is the chain side. It's on the left side, and which means it spins like this. So you always make sure this little arrow here is spinning in the right way. And some tires have balance dots. That might be one, but I don't know. It's usually a big yellow dot. So the tire spins this way. We want to lube the opposite side. And where you want to lube is the bottom of the rim here. You don't need to lube here. This isn't where the contact is. It's on the bottom of your bead here. That's what you lube. And so make sure you double check it's spinning the right way always, because you don't want to do this again. You should be able to pop it on just like that without any spoons or tools. Same thing, lube that bead. It could be with soap and water. If you want to get some tire grease, they have this stuff, and what we use is this stuff here, Murphy's. And what you do is you take this paste, it's really gooey, and you mix it in hot water to make your solution, and it lasts forever. Works really good. Get some Murphy's. Alright. Now this machine really makes it awesome. When you're doing spoons, it's a little harder, but it's good to use a 5-gallon bucket to put on your rim to help you drop the bead in. But if you have a tire machine, you're gonna be on your way. And all I'm doing is keeping this bead in. Oh. Keep this bead in down as far as you can keep it. Okay. And then you gotta do the bottom side too if you're running out at the top. If this tire doesn't want to go on nice and smooth. So see how this top sucked in? You can't go anymore. Pick the bottom up, and that'll drop the bead in. So you get more room and leverage on this side here. But this bead does not want to stay in. Oh, that's why. I didn't have it on the machine right. Ah, there we go. There it is. So you want to push your bead down. Like some race tires they really like buckle in here because they're so soft. This is a street tire, so see how it pushed up that way by pushing the opposite bead? You want to center your bead so when you're filling it up, it's not just blowing air out. It's hard to get them to seat sometimes if you don't have this bead evenly pressed on your rim here. And it's always good when you're filling your tire up for the first time to pop the bead in. You want to do it with the valve stem out so you can shoot the most amount of air in fast so it can grab. You gotta wait for 2 pops. 1, 2. put your valve stem in. Now, when you're filling your tires up, I know it says on the swing arm sometimes like 46 pounds in the rear, and that's ridiculous. You definitely don't want to do that. So I was talking to some racers on the mountain, seeing what they run, and some of them guys are running, 26 pounds up front and 24 pounds in the rear. So I mean, it's really deceiving what the factory says. You want your tire to stick the best that it can stick, so you don't skate right off the road. And that's what will happen if you have too much pressure. You're coming into a corner really hot, you're not going to stick, you're just going to slide and lose your tires because your tire's not molding like it should. So I'm not running that low because my bike's 500 pounds, which is way more than those guys' bikes. So I talked to the Pirelli rep, he said 33 up front, 34. So I'm doing 35 and 34 in the rear. We always want to be a pound lower in the rear or 2 than the front. So now let's go install this. Well, we should probably wipe it down. Got us a little liquid performance, some polish, really good stuff, and it smells beautiful. Always clean what you work on so you know you worked on it. Now I usually balance my tire, but I'm taking this like off in a couple days here when my good tires come in. So I'm not going to balance the rear. It really doesn't matter. You really only feel the front. So it'll be fine. We're definitely going to balance them when I get the new ones. So I really want to feel them at its peak performance. I just want to see how they feel on Pikes Peak, because Pikes Peak is different than any other road, any other racetrack. The road is so slick because of all the snow and all the plows. They have to plow so much up there that what the plow does is just grinding that road, grinding it and grinding it every year, and it takes away all those rocks and imperfections in the pavement, which makes it freaking slick. And that's what's unique about the mountain. It's very, very slippery, especially on race day. Like when we practice early in the morning, when the sun comes up at 5, we start practice, and we don't even get done until 8:30 in the morning when they release the public up the mountain. And so on race day, they start the race on, I think it's like 10 or 11 o'clock before the bikes take off, and the track is hot, way hotter than practice, which makes it more slippery. And it's so slippery every time on race day. It's crazy. It's a different track. So it's always a beware on the mountain, especially for new rookies. Just always know that the mountain is slick, very slick. So keep that in mind. Alright, that's good enough. I think I gave Chris all my metal caps. Oh, there we go. You want to use a metal cap on your street bikes. Alright, let's go put this boy back on. Gotta get our grease here. Alright guys, so what you want to do is to make your axle as smooth as can be, you're going to spray some brake clean on a rag and wipe off any old grease, any of that black stuff, that's gnarly, dry, crazy stuff. And if yours doesn't come clean, get you a piece of emery cloth. You can find it at any local hardware store, auto parts store. And emery cloth will get any of that stuff off. But this is brand new, I don't need it. Like when you have an old tire on and you have to use a hammer to get it off because it's so dirty and nasty in there. You gotta always keep that clean. Keep it really clean. Then, get your grease. You just need a light coating on it, because you're going to do it every time you do your tire. So, you know it's going to be smooth when you pull it off, because you're the mechanic, you're working on it. You want it to be nice. So it's just a light film. You don't need much. That's all you need. It's like paper thin. Now normally when you're working on a bike, you usually want the nut side on your dominant whatever side or whatever hand you are. So if you're left-handed, you want the nut to be on the left hand. If you're right-handed, you want it to be on the right side. But since Beamer's pipe is right there, I'm going to keep it on the left side. Got to install the sprocket here. Give this a nice little spruce. If you do this every time you do your tire, it won't be so dirty all the time. Caked on nasty chain lube. That's another thing. I'm going to show you guys what kind of chain lube to use. Definitely shouldn't need a hammer. That's how you know where to put it, the old screw mark. Okay, I'll show you a trick how to tighten your chain. You just want to snug it enough to where you can move your tire with your chain tensioners here. So you loosen your lock nuts. And then what you do is tighten. You just remember the counts. So that's one there. That's one there, and one more. See that? And then what you're looking for is, you can see if it's straight by looking down there, and you can kind of line your eyes up with both sprockets and see if it's kinked one way or not. And your eyeball is really the best tool you have. So you don't always pay attention to the notches on the well, this one don't even have notches like dirt bikes do, and they're not always straight and they're not always true. So you always want to step back and look and see if that chain is just straight with your eyeballs. And it looks pretty good. And so you don't want too much slop, but you don't want it to be too tight. You'll snap your chain. So I'm going to go one more quarter turn. That's good. And then what you want to do is get you like your 12 mil or 13 mil. Stick the shaft in one of the sprocket holes here. And you want to just kind of pull it back till you're at like 2 o'clock, and it pulls everything up close. And then you tighten your axle. And that, my friends, is how you pull the slack out of your chain. And that's how you do your tire. Oh yeah, let me show you what to do for chain load. Okay, right here. Dry flow. This is the best for your chain. If you do it every time, then it's the best for your chain. But I hate big, bulky, nasty, clumpy, chain loops that throw it everywhere on your bike. But if you're always working on your bike, then you can do this every time. What you do is spray the inside of your chain and let force and momentum fling the goop through the chain. And then you polish her off, make her look pretty, get all the excess off. And now you won't have all that goop flinging everywhere, that nasty chain loop. And this thing's ready to go. Damn, look at all those rocks hitting this sucker. See, this is that stock chain loop all over my rim. Nasty. Not even coming off. And I don't want to spray brake clean on it because, well, brake clean is really harsh on paint. And if you can avoid it, don't do it. But we're not going to the peak yet. I'll polish her up later. That's how you do it. Let's go see how this tire does. It's not gonna kill me on the peak, that's for sure. Looks way better than my old one. Thanks for watching. Hope I can teach you guys something. Now you know how to do a rear tire. Until next time, we'll see you Tuesday.